I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. The Democratic leader in the House of Representatives, Hakeem Jeffries, does not mince words. I want to show you right now some clips from a powerful press conference that he just held where he calls out MAGA Republicans. In this first clip, Hakeem Jeffries talks about how the modern-day MAGA Republican Party is the party of Marjorie Taylor Greene, George Santos, and Donald Trump. Play the clip.
The modern-day Republican Party is the party of Marjorie Taylor Greene, George Santos, and Donald Trump. That's the reality, folks. You can't make this stuff up. That's the reality. And later on today, apparently, House Republicans are going to try to pass legislation that will restrict, if not end, the ability of the federal government to confront unemployment insurance fraud. At the same time that one of the leaders of the House Republican Conference here in Washington, D.C., George Santos, has been charged with unemployment insurance fraud. Why do I say he's one of the leaders? Because the Default on America Act would not have passed the House of Representatives without the support of George Santos, who was the deciding vote. And perhaps that explains why my Republican colleagues have failed to take any action to remove someone who is clearly unfit to serve in the People's House.
Mr. Leader, on that.
Hakeem Jeffries is so right there. I mean, Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy, MAGA Republican, relied on George Santos in order to become Speaker of the House after losing 14 votes to try to become Speaker. The recent bill that the MAGA Republicans passed to try to hold America hostage by refusing to raise the debt ceiling unless substantial cuts are made to veterans benefits and social programs that tens of millions of Americans rely on. All of that was made possible by the vote of George Santos. And let's face it, Marjorie Taylor Greene, George Santos, Paul Gosar, Jim Jordan, James Comer, these are the leaders of the MAGA Republican Party, Lauren Boebert and others. I mean, it is beyond bizarre what the Republican Party has turned into. In this next clip, Hakeem Jeffries talks about how dangerous, devastating, and destructive it would be if Donald Trump ever got near the White House again. Play the clip.
Well, it would be a very dangerous, devastating, and destructive thing if Donald Trump got anywhere close to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and Exhibit A for the trauma that the American people will experience if that were to happen were his own words and performance at that so-called town hall meeting.
Then, in an interview with the press, Hakeem Jeffries explained how George Santos appears to have engaged in unemployment insurance fraud, yet on the same day the Republicans are trying to introduce a bill on the same topic while they can't even hold their own member accountable. Play this clip.
George Santos has been allowed to run amok and make a mockery of serving in the House of Representatives. I'm confident that the voters of the 3rd Congressional District in New York will ultimately end this long national nightmare for us in November of 2024, if not sooner. But unfortunately, it may take until that point in time, since the votes don't seem to exist on the Republican side to do anything about George Santos, notwithstanding the fact that he's acknowledged the lies and the falsehoods. He perpetrated a clear fraud on the people of the state of New York in order to be elected, regardless of what the outcome may be of this particular indictment, which, by the way, is incredibly serious, including the fact that he appears to have engaged in fraud related to unemployment insurance. And the Republicans this week are about to try to defund the ability of the federal government to root out unemployment fraud. You can't make this stuff up.
And here in the interview with Hakeem Jeffries, he explains that The Republican Party under Donald Trump and Trumpism has three basic philosophical pillars. Watch this.
A former president of the United States, front runner for the Republican nomination, saying that it's time for the Republicans to force a default on the debt. He actually wants them to do it. What was your reaction to that?
Well, the Republican Party under Donald Trump and Trumpism has three basic philosophical pillars. One, facts don't matter. Two, hypocrisy is not a constraint to their behavior. And three, they actually believe that shamelessness is a superpower.
And I just want to show you this other clip here. It's not of Hakeem Jeffries. It's of AOC. But following the Trump so-called town hall, whatever that was that CNN did, just want to show you AOC's response. Here, play this clip.
I know you said earlier that you will not comment on the platforming of such atrocious disinformation, but I would. I think it was a profoundly irresponsible decision. I don't think that I would be doing my job if I did not say that. And what we saw tonight was a series of extremely irresponsible decisions that put a sexual abuse victim at risk, that put that person at risk in front of a national audience, and I could not have disagreed with it more. It was shameful.
So powerful and so important that Democrats are fighting for the American people, while MAGA Republican extremism and radicalism is so dangerous, such a threat to our democracy. To see Democrats who are actually fighting for the people, focusing on bringing benefits to the people and also messaging it in the way they are, it's just so great to see. And we need to really share these messages. I know large media networks are all focused on the both sides journalism. We need to make sure that American people can see the contrast, can see the difference, and can see the fact that there's only one major political party today that supports democracy, that's compassionate, intelligent, that is decent, that is focused on trying to solve the problems. Look, I disagree with the Democratic Party on a lot of issues, but ultimately they're still focused on trying to resolve the issues that 99% of Americans face. Meanwhile, you have the other major political party, Republicans, who are now the MAGA Republican Party, who are the party of Marjorie Taylor Greene, Donald Trump, George Santos, Matt Gaetz, Lauren Boebert, Paul Gosar, Jim Jordan, James Comer, and it is a combination of fascism meets idiocracy. They sing songs with the January 6th insurrectionists. They wake up talking about bathrooms and pronouns and different color M&Ms that piss them off. They get angry at corporations if corporations are trying to promote diversity, and they try to use the government to shut down corporations that promote diversity within their organizations. And they lie and they lie and they lie, and they support our enemies. They don't support our allies abroad. It is not normal times, folks, and we just got to call it out. We can't normalize this behavior of the MAGA Republican Party. And it's so great to have a leader in the Democratic Party like Hakeem Jeffries, who not only talks the talk, which is very important, and you see how powerful his messaging is, but also walks the walk. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers. Help us get there by this summer by hitting subscribe. It's free. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Wherever you get audio podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast. Now hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. It is free, and have an incredible day.
Hey Midas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.